My name is Cody Anderson, and I am joined by Jordan Vogel over here.
Yo.
And we are part of Good Rep Media. Good Rep Media is a small business marketing agency. If you're new here, we help small businesses rank on Google. We help you get your Google business profile optimized. We help you basically get more customers in your door, help you with your online presence. If you're interested in talking to me about Good Rep services, if you own a small business, if small business related marketing is something you want to do, schedule with me. Here's my little link, goodrep.media/chat. Check us out. uh yeah, I'm hitting them with the sellout early today. Jordan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I was realizing that. I was like, oh, man, he's going all in. He's going all in. We're going to get the people in the first 30 seconds to go schedule an appointment with you.
I've been working on these the little intro period where you can basically, yeah, I realize that fall off is real. The more I create my own YouTube content, the more I look at our YouTube stats, the more I look at these videos, that fall off is so bad. And after the first couple of seconds, and even then, the fall off in the first couple of minutes is aggressive. So you want to get in there. I realize more and more. One of our good friends, Eric Beta, friend of the channel, has come on multiple times and talked about how in those first couple of seconds of a video, you want to make sure that they know what they're going to get. Your audience knows what they're going to see when they see a video when you're creating video content.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing I should probably start editing my videos a little bit more.
Do you think because like I saw you do your recorded ones in Nashville when we were up there
Yeah.
for your videos, and you had to go through your intro like 3 or 4 times before like we got one that you were comfortable with. Now I get that was probably your first time doing it with a bunch of people around seeing you, probably added a bunch of nerves to it. But do you still kind of do that when you do your recordings? And then also question B, do you feel that doing it live, like you've been doing it, is helping you to kind of get that down to one take in your recordings because you can't do it again live?
Yeah, so there's a lot of thought process that goes into it, honestly, and also not a lot of actual action. So, I don't have a script. I don't have something that I do every single time, but I do recognize that you need some type of intro. And so I have toyed with a lot of different intros. I've toyed with different ways of talking to the camera, different ways of interacting. If you've watched this pod at all, if you've watched us chat, you've heard me mention, hey, we're Good Rep Media. My name's Cody Anderson. This is Jordan Vogel. You've heard me go through this, maybe solidify that down. And I'll be real, I think it just takes repetition. It takes
Yeah.
habit building. I don't have a script that's posted up. I don't ever try to write something down and follow it verbatim. And I think that's something that maybe I should try to do. Maybe I should workshop and work
I,
on an intro.
I think everybody's a little different. Like some people struggle to kind of like read off of something, and some people struggle to just kind of go from the hip. Like
Yeah.
I think about like my wedding speech I did for my brother's wedding, and I got up there and gave the speech, and I wrote something down. I went the whole time like telling myself, don't write anything down, just kind of have some bullet points for yourself, so that you'll be able to keep on track. And then as we got closer to it, I started to get super nervous. So I'm like, I'm gonna write the whole thing. And I wrote the whole thing. And I even did a little joke about that at the beginning of like, I want to get up here. I want to speak from the heart. I don't want to be someone who like gives a speech reading off their phone. But everything's gone so perfectly here tonight. I'm not going to be the one to mess it up and like pulled my phone out. But then I started to read from the phone, and like I got so nervous that like I wanted to keep like looking up and not just stare at the phone, that like the whole back and forth I was losing my place. And then I went, all right, whatever. And I put it in my pocket and then just went from the heart. And I think I did so much better then.
Well, and it's worth noting in those situations. So I'm the type of person who would probably have practiced multiple times about being in that situation, because what you ask about recording, am I recording multiple times? What I'll do before I start a video is usually I'm recording in the morning, so I'm just waking up and it's one of the first things that I'm doing. And I will get into the headspace and I'll get into the intro. So I'll do the, hey guys, welcome to good morning, how are we doing? I'll like try to go through a couple of different intros, and my intro for my YouTube channel is relatively consistent at this point because I've done a video a day. I've recorded every single morning for the past 100 and something days. So I've gotten this intro almost down pat without any type of script, and that's purely by building up habit. Now, is that consistent? Does it change up? Yeah, 100%. But Yeah, I'm practicing that a few times. And so if I'm in a situation where I want to work on a script, or like if I have written it down, that's when I am going to practice it. So I
Yeah.
feel like if I wrote something down for this, I would practice it and it might turn out better. Maybe dude, you're selling me on it right now.
I just mentioned how me not having something written down was like the key to my success. So
Well, I mean, but you did write it down. And I
true.
think so you wrote it down originally. Do you think when you wrote it down, it helped you organize your thoughts and made it
So
easier to go from
yeah.
the hip?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
I knew the things I wanted to touch on. Like I said, the original plan was bullet points, and like I kind of did that, and probably would have been the better way to have done it, but I let the nerves win. Like sitting in the airport flying out to LA, like
Yeah.
I let the nerves win about the speech, and so I sat there like the entire time I was in the airport and wrote a speech,
Good.
and like probably should have just kept the bullet points because I think I would have done better that way. But I had studied those bullet points enough to the point where it was when I went up there, I kind of knew the points I wanted to touch on, anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, you did the thing, you figured it out. But I will say, now that we're starting to get in, we're starting to get some viewers in here. I do want to touch on our topic for today, which is if you were with us yesterday, actually, if you join us on the Joey Matterhorn channel at noon on Mondays, we always go live. Same thing, lunch with the boys. But generally, we're talking about a little bit more grind set mindset type issues. We're working on, hey, what can you do for your side hustle? How do you think about money? How do you motivate yourself to get out there? And so, as a almost continuation of what we were talking about yesterday, how to keep yourself motivated during the holidays, we wanted to talk about how small businesses can keep themselves and their employees motivated during the holidays, because it is a little bit different when you are the owner and the operator of your full-time income and it is coming up on holiday season. And so I wanted to start maybe getting a little bit personal, because we are, Jordan and I, employee manager. That is the relationship that we have on, regardless of our outside D&D misgivings and all of our adventures. Um, so in that vein, as an employee, do you feel extra stress this time of year? How are you feeling as we go into holiday season, and how are you managing that stress?
I've always so Me, I've always been someone as it gets closer to holidays, I don't feel quite as stressed like from the like in my workplace because I got so much going on outside the workplace that that's enough to worry about. And I'm pretty good at kind of like distancing like that stress. Like I can compartmentalize it pretty well, like to recognize, oh, this is just holiday stuff. And being in the work environment that we're in, it's not like, oh, we need this done by Christmas.
Hmm.
Like we may have things like that, and certain people in small business situations may have that. I'm just lucky enough to have not had that for a little while now. So I don't have like a deadline crunch that I think a lot of people kind of have at the end of the year. I mean, we have active deadlines that we're still always trying
Yeah.
to meet, but like there's no like, hey, this needs to be done by the end of the year. So like there's
Yeah.
no real stress there. And then on top of that, like I think most of the stress comes from me feeling like I'm not doing as well work wise because of all the gaps that we keep taking. Like we talked about it, yesterday. When you're in the holiday mode, you'll work like a week and then you'll have like half a week because it was just Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Then you'll work a couple weeks and then take a week off because it's Christmas, then take a couple days off because it's New Year's. And it's like, it's so hard to find a rhythm that like I start feeling like my work isn't doing as well because of that. And so that may be a little stressful, but also I'm a realist enough to the point where I recognize that and can kind of like I don't know. I think it's hard to ask me those questions because I recognize a lot of the causes of my stress. And so like I think when you can do that, you're a lot better at kind of not letting it get to you.
I mean, I think that might be possible, but at the same time, you're acknowledging that, hey, I have a lot of stress in my outside life that's affecting my work 100%. Like, that's the point that we're getting at is, hey, I am stressed about the fact that I have, for me personally, if I were random employee, I'm stressed about the fact that my car is old and kind of run down, and driving it in the winter kind of sucks. And so getting groceries and going out there and doing chores and hanging out with friends is a little bit more difficult. It ramps up my level of stress and anxiety, and that bleeds over into my workday and how I interact with my work. in general, the holidays are a much more stressful time for people. So even if your work itself is not getting more stressful, like your level of work, because I do acknowledge, I think, Jordan, you're in a very secure position where you're basically maintenance on a lot of our websites, and you're doing a
Mhm.
lot of, hey, can you get this update done today? Um, I realized as we were doing, getting into Nextcloud and working on a ticketing system, you're kind of like the ticket clearer. Like
Yeah,
you're the, hey, we've got a ticket today. Here's the thing. Can you get this finished? And so you're not working with a lot of long-term deadlines. You're working
right.
with a lot of, hey, can
And
you do this
and
now?
before we brought James on, when I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, anything that had to do with a website was me," that was much more stressful. That was a thousand times more stressful. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, like obviously like breaking it up and kind of relieving some of the workload, and like really making it so that like I can fixate on like certain tasks really makes it a lot easier in the later quarters.
Yeah, but I will say for me, the added environmental factors and the added stress from the things going on around life affecting work in general and affecting your ability to kind of show up. And I'm royal your, not you personally. I'm not
Yeah,
calling
yeah.
anyone out here. But because I'm talking about me, um, dude, I wake up in like cold and it's like gray, and then I get out of work and it's cold and it's gray, and that just demotivates me. How do you deal with like that demotivation, or do you not feel that?
This year, I've actually felt it a lot more than I used to. I used to be someone who was like, winter doesn't bum me out. Winter's like whatever. It's the same as any other time. But this year, like I was really, I think this year, like I have like a lot of like car troubles and stuff like that. That like I don't like driving my car when it's cold anymore. Like
Yeah.
not that I ever did, but like now it's almost like I get a bad feeling driving my car when it's cold unless I leave it on for 12 hours overnight.
I was gonna say we're both in very similar situations. Because what do you drive?
'07 Mercury Montego.
Yeah, see, and I drive an '08 Chevy Impala. How many miles you got?
Around 280,
Okay, so you got me
280,000.
hard beat. I'm only at 220.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
hey, man, Chevys can ride forever, right?
I've
I,
had this thing since like my sophomore year of college.
that's actually well. No, I've had this. I got this. I got my Impala the year I graduated, like 2 months
Yeah.
after I graduated, actually. College,
Um,
I do. But anyways, continue.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Leaving your car on, your car gives you
Oh,
anxiety
oh,
to get out.
oh, like, yeah, so the like, that's, like, one of the big things that kinda stresses me about the winter is, like, driving the car and stuff, and, like, I'm feeling that this year because, like, I'm worried every time I get in my car, it's gonna, like, freeze up and break down on me. So, like, I haven't been going outside and going places as much as I typically would in the winter, and I think that has been weighing on me a lot.
Yeah.
To the point where like I'm so looking forward to like getting outside that I ordered an electric scooter today to spend more time outside when the weather gets nice.
I was gonna say an electric scooter in the winter. We'll see, because
Yeah, I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
drive
when
that.
the roads clear off, that would also be
Yeah, I was gonna
awesome
say like
because you have that
today,
Meyer
I
parking
actually
lot.
probably would. Yeah, I was gonna say I'd probably drive it to Meyer today, looking out my window at like the parking lot. It's completely dry. Parking lot's
Yeah,
perfectly
which
dry.
would be
I'd drive
sick.
it. Yeah.
But I do see a question here. Do you think when it comes to team settings, there are communication strategies that can help prevent burnout or that have helped you the most? So, communication strategies with your team. Um, I'm gonna point out immediately. I hold a daily meeting. I kind of force it to happen. When I first became a manager, I was like, "Hey, we're gonna have a daily stand up. We're gonna have a hey, let's chat and get face to face." And I personally really like that. I think it helps me, if not helping the employees and everyone that gets in them, which I have heard feedback that it's helpful. But it's really helpful for me to get everyone in the same space, be able to talk to them and have conversations. For me, I think providing context and the opportunity to see what other teams and other people are doing is really important. So when you can dedicate, 15, 30 minutes of your day to hearing about how James is working on this development project, even if that's not really pertinent to what you're doing as the digital media coordinator or the SEO guy. It still is useful to necessarily know, hey, this is a project that we're going on. This is something that is being worked on. We might want to do articles. And it also gives people the opportunity to step in and like I want to be a part of a project. I would love to do that. I have a question. And that collaboration is really useful.
And then just from a human side, like in a work from home environment, if I wasn't in those meetings every single day, I would talk to you for an hour on a live, and then maybe every now and then when we jump into a call to like work on something, I would talk to you, but that would be my entire human interaction for my work week, other than my Friday gig.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's not much. That is not much at all. So I get like, if anybody in the group at first was like hesitant about the meetings every single day, I don't think anybody in good rep anymore holds that.
Yeah.
I think everybody is like, yeah, no, this is a good thing for us to get into.
Well, and it's generally just like a good thing for mental health. So that's one of the big communication things that I think is very important. Um, one of the communication things that I also think is very important is setting clear boundaries and expectations surrounding time on and time off. Knowing when you're available and when you're not. As a manager, I try very hard to be acknowledging of like, hey, you're on the clock. Here's the thing. And then, hey, you're off the clock. Don't do a thing. Go get out of here. I do not want people to be, burning themselves out by, burning themselves at both ends, working over on hours. And it does just provide a system for resentment when that type of thing builds up. So keeping those stronger boundaries of time on, time off. Maybe the communication here is, hey, it's 5 p.m. I'm not going to communicate, or I'm going to schedule a message to go out the next morning after they should have clocked in.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah. For me, I think like communication relieving stress is just in my transparency. Like I think I might be a little transparent to a fault almost. When I struggle with things, like I say, like I was on a podcast yesterday admitting that I'm a very lazy worker. I shouldn't have done that for a work podcast.
I mean, to be fair, you were trying to bring up the what was it, Bill Gates quote?
Yeah, which I did send you. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see the Bill Gates quote, which I mean, I think everyone's seen it. It's the whole idea of
I'll hire a lazy worker to do a hard task every time because he will find an easy way to do it, or something along those lines. That's paraphrased, but
yeah, the general idea is, hey, hire lazy people because they'll figure out the easier way, and that's good shit.
As long as like it's still like a lazy person who still gets the job done can be very dangerous for that exact reason. Dangerous in a good way. Like
the main thing is getting the thing done.
Yeah, exactly. And you said something like back in the days of the bullpen when we were all in office and we were sitting there, and I remember you saying accountability to me is the work getting done. Yeah. And that is huge. Like that has stuck with me in such a big way because like that's so accurate. It's like, why does it matter how it's getting done? Why does an employee need you to suffer to get the work done if you can get the work done in a way that like,
yeah, and it's worth the comparison because have you ever seen the discourse surrounding cashiers at anywhere and sitting down?
Yeah.
So I love Aldi, and if you've never shopped at Aldi, go check out Aldi. They have great deals. They have great products. There's one person at the checkout at Aldi, and there's a bunch of self checkouts. They don't have bags or anything for you. You got to pay a quarter for a cart. It's a whole weird, different system that it's worth figuring out and using. But the person sitting behind the counter checking you out, they're sitting on a stool. Awesome. They don't need to stand all day.
Yeah, like why would they?
Why? But there's this whole discourse because I know, for example, Meyer, they got to stand all day. And so I'm like, why is this a thing? Why do we
like there are
to...
customers who legitimately like need them to suffer for them to like
it makes me happier if they're sitting there being lazy. They're like, oh my goodness.
It's like I worked at a grocery store when I was 16 and I stood.
And I walked uphill both ways while getting shot at.
It's like the people, and not to get political, but like the people who like fought against like student loans like being like reimbursed, and it was like I had to pay for my student loan, so you should have to pay for yours, and it's like you just need to commiserate so badly that like you're gonna make someone like pay like $20,000 that they don't need to pay. Like,
It's unreasonable expectations and unreasonable thought processes to get you there.
yeah.
Uh, it just does not make sense. But
It's going out of your way to hurt someone. Like, it's crazy.
well, it's not necessarily going out of your way. I think it's over indexing and caring too much about what others are doing. I I think this is because Eric and I fall on different ends of spectrums all of the time, especially like political, socio-economic,
Yeah.
anarchist, whatever. But we agree in general, people should have the freedom to kind of do what they want in general, so long as it doesn't impact and hurt others.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to control what you're doing. I don't want to know or care. And I take that very like literally in management style with employees, where like I don't care as long as it gets done. And it's a very getting back to the general levels of stress and how to handle that around holidays. I feel like hard and fast deadlines, when you talked about it, you were very much like, I don't have hard and fast deadlines, so I don't feel that stress. I think it's partly because I'm in there very strongly saying, hey, we're
One
generally doing this. This is what we're working on. And we do have some hard and fast deadlines. But when I have those deadlines, I put them forward as, hey, here's the question mark. Can you do this today?
yeah.
Can this be done today? It's a conversation. It's usually not a hard and fast, this needs to be done. Sometimes it is. Those
Yeah.
do happen,
And
but
and I wanna stress, it wasn't me saying, like, I don't have deadlines, you know? It was just me saying, like, we
yeah.
don't have, like, holiday ones where it's like, "This needs to be done by Christmas, this needs to be done by the end of the quarter." You know? Like, the deadlines we have would likely to be deadlines that we would have regardless of if Christmas was happening or if, like, if we were in Q4. You know?
Mhm.
Like, they were just part of the job.
Yeah.
No different than any other time of year.
But there is one thing that so I was doing a little bit of reading for this, and I wanted to touch on something that I haven't done, but we did a little bit of this past weekend. And I'm curious if you want to get into it. We got together, we got to play D&D this past weekend, and I brought along crayons and coloring paper, and we sat down for a good couple of hours drawing D&D characters and just drawing with crayons, and then we played Dungeons and Dragons, and it was a glorious glorious afternoon. Do you think the sitting down and like coloring and having fun and getting together spurred on a really good D&D session? Because
But
we
yeah,
can both agree that D&D session was
That
probably
the
top
D&D
tier.
session was one of the best D&D sessions I've ever been a part of, and yeah, like, it might like, honestly, it might have. Who's to say if, like, it did or didn't, but, like, it was fun.
Yeah.
Regardless of if that was what led to us having a great time, it itself was fun, and it was
Yeah.
creative, and it was different.
And that's that whole experience. When I look at that, I feel one, I want to say I feel really proud. I'm
Yeah.
like, ah, ha, 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 this was I almost like felt like I was going out on a limb with it. I was like, let's just do this and we'll bring it. I did half assume we had one of our members join a little bit late, so they showed up a little bit late. So we had some extra time, and so it
Mhm.
it created a good environment for this. But I was a little bit apprehensive, but I feel a little bit of pride over that. And I also, it makes me want to do something similar for our work team. It makes me want to get us together to do some sort of team building exercise. And I'm realizing, ooh, sorry about that knock there, but I'm realizing that we don't necessarily have enough recognition or like formalized routes of like, hey, this is great, here's your gold star, here's our daily or monthly or weekly or whatever it might be get together where we all go around and we have like a book club or something. And
Yeah.
I'm curious if that's something that we should do.
No, I
I'm
think
thinking on
we
it
could
more.
kind of pitch something like, even if it's just like we do like once a quarter or something, like try and get as many of the good rep team together for like a team lunch or something where we can
Yeah.
sit down, just be everybody face to face, talk to each other. I think that would go a long way, especially if we get the boss man to pay for it.
Getting
You
the
know,
boss man around is always the is
it's
always
a
the hurdle.
morale boost thing, you know, and I mean, obviously, yeah, like, and if he's there, even greater. But like, truthfully, I feel like from a CEO standpoint, if you have a team that's like kind of like your model team doing the things that you want them to be doing the right way, reward them, buy them all lunch. Like, you know, even if you're not there, you don't have to be there to buy a team lunch, you know.
Well, 100%. And I do think that's something that I want to do maybe a little bit more. I look at it and I want to bring up. So Angie, one of our managers, one of the higher ups in the company, did a like gift card giveaway every
Yeah.
week for anyone who was like recommended for like helped out. Like, hey, did you help me out? Great. I'm gonna go tell Angie that you helped me out and add your hat to this drawing. And she did a drawing of everyone every single week. I almost want to do something similar to that. I want to get like
Good Rep ran that shit like a racket, bro.
oh, well, we exactly. That's why we can't do that because we did. We ran it like a racket and it was bad. Now, mind you, that was just because we're supportive and friendly and we
Yeah,
like each
like
other.
I don't think that was the reason it stopped. Like Angie just wasn't in that position anymore. Like, I think she
No,
was like, okay,
we did not abuse
if
the
Good
system.
Rep wants to do the thing, nobody else is doing the thing. Good Rep's gonna get it. You know?
Well, we didn't abuse the system. It was just very much a I will buy into a thing. And so Angie wanted to do a giveaway. I was like, bet. I'm gonna tell people, everyone who reports to me, to do the thing. And so I think everyone participated because I was like, great,
Hey,
go put
it's not our fault that the people Good Rep are going to recommend put in for this award are other Good Rep people. They're the people we work with.
we did. We ran that like a
Yeah,
racket.
we won.
Emily, you
It was
won that
because
every
the only
week for like a
problem was
month.
we were the only ones doing it. Like
It is
if
true.
other people were doing it, it wasn't like we were like tricking the system or anything like that. We were
No.
just doing it, and no
It,
one else was.
yeah, and it's worth noting after what was it? We'd won a couple in a row, and so I told everyone that we couldn't recommend more than one good rep. Like I limited us. I was like, no one in good rep can recommend more than one good rep person. We're not doing this. I don't want it to look.
Yeah.
And it was still everyone.
I mean, sometimes like I did a few other people from time to time. Like I even did I did Zarnab once. I went to Angie. I was like, hey, can we have like VAs like win this? I think he's been working hard. He deserves it, you know.
Yeah, I want to highlight. Don't lie, Cody. You competed for those dang rewards. I did. I want you to know. So, and this is what rewards are supposed to do. Hey, if you do an action, you might get a reward. So you know what it inspires by creating this reward? People to do the action. So you know what I did? I did the action. I was nicer. Angie made me nicer for a couple of months, and I'm back to being mean. It's mean, Cody now. I was it on a pod, Jordan, where you told me, Cody, you have a difficulty being mean, or was
Yeah.
that on like a call?
Yeah, it was on one of the podcasts where we were talking about your management style and about how you feel like sometimes you have to like crack the whip on people, and I'm like, you don't like you still communicate like urgency well, but like you
Yeah.
don't do it in an aggressive, like angry way.
I think about that. I think about that statement probably more than I should. Like I talked to my therapist about that statement.
Did
I was
you
like, this is
really?
this is how I am perceived in the world. And it not in like a bad way, not
Coming
in
up
like a
in Cody's
whatever way.
therapy session.
But it's like exactly. I want to be clear, not in like a bad way or like a negative, but
Yeah.
more so like this is how I'm perceived. And it was very similar because I also talk about Dispatch, the video game, because I compared our endings and I was like, you got the everyman ending, no one knew what you were gonna do, and I got the true hero ending, and I was like, I felt good about that. Like I bragged about that in
And, like,
therapy, man.
you and I had a whole discussion as like we compared those where we were like, man, this is like weird because like we were both trying to play as us. Like we were like, what would we do in those situations? Which I think a lot of people do in those kind of like
Yeah.
decision-making video games on their first playthroughs. And then like the results we got, I was like, yeah, no, that does sound like you, and this does sound like me. And like
Yeah.
it was so cool that it actually kind of nailed that.
Well, and it's sorry to be on this tangent, Mel. I can sense the message coming, but I'm gonna stick on it a little bit more. Um, when I was playing through that game, and I'm playing through these decision making games. For those of you who don't know, Dispatch was released in 8 episodes. Every episode was like a choose your own adventure book, basically, where you have a couple of different options and they all played off of each other. Um, in that choose your own adventure, you're right. I did like choose options I would generally choose, but I chose the options like my ideal version of myself would choose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like if I were in that situation in this world, I don't know that I would make that choice, but that's the choice I would
Yeah,
want
you
to
would.
make.
The thing that I was like yelling at you there, typing like she betrayed you 3 times. You're telling me you'd still keep her on the team. I don't think you'd really do that. I
I
think you'd be logical enough to be like, no,
the
no,
thing
she couldn't leave.
I have such I think I view that differently, and maybe we do need to do a whole pod on Dispatch and just
Oh,
pull up the stats and
that
go
would
by
be
them side
fun.
by side.
Mel wouldn't even know what questions to ask.
I I would be here for a Dispatch breakdown because I think we view those very differently, and we did have a really good discourse on one topic, and I think it was in reference to Invisigal in that.
Yeah,
So
100%. Yeah. That was the thing that like me and you argued about the most. Like
yeah,
fundamentally, I was like, how could you like how can you like defend someone who actively has betrayed you 3 times? You know, and you were like, because it's my job to turn these people and make them good. You know?
But it's not even necessarily just it's my job to turn and make them good, which it 100% is. I think that was that our main disagreement.
Well, yeah, because like there's a part of me that like very much viewed it as like I was there. Like, I get that they make me into like the leader of the team, and
Yeah,
that's the role you do take into that. But like to me, it was like I took a job as a dispatcher. My
mhm,
job was to send people out based on who I thought would do the job right. They are a team. I'm a part of that team, you know. And so like
yeah,
that was the job I agreed to. And then
yeah.
yes, my guy does eventually become a leader. Sure, he's got these responsibilities now, but like to me, is like your job wasn't to fix Invisigal. You know, it was to make sure your team operates as efficiently as possible, and she was actively stopping that.
I love I absolutely love this parallel because it does parallel very well to what we're talking about managing a small business, managing a team because
Yeah,
in
yeah. Mel's pissed that we're about to dive into the topic.
Oh, this is my favorite. Honestly, half of the pod is just torturing Mel. And it's not even it's worth noting. Mel has never once complained or said anything negative about us being off topic. She's like, "No, you guys are doing great. This is phenomenal." We make up a Mel in our head that is upset with
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't
We
think she
we
has a
have a
mean
Mel
bone
who's
in her
like
body.
very much like, oh my god, these guys are not focused. And Mel's like, oh, that's a good point.
So I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. But anyways, with Dispatch, I do want to touch on the premise of Dispatch is that it's superhero society. Think of it like The Boys, where there
Yeah,
are heroes for hire basically. You can
yeah,
hire them for cities and there is a retired hero. He was out there on the front lines with a mecha suit that gets destroyed and he can no longer afford to fix it because he was just a regular hero. Gets hired to work dispatch and manage a team of Suicide Squad members, basically, a bunch of villains. And his whole role is to come in and work dispatch. Now, where Jordan and I came at this differently is very, very fascinating. And I love this because it is. We're very different people, but not different people, but we're just in different positions right now. I as a manager, you as an employee, you came into it with you're part of the team. I came into it with I'm managing these people. It's my job to turn them into heroes. Like that's what I came into it. And so when we came into playing dispatch, you were like, okay, I'm working dispatch. You played those early chapters probably a lot differently than I did.
yeah.
Because I was very much like, hey, I'm stepping in. I took Invisigal like under my wing, and I very much was like, okay, she's a problem child. She's the employee that you're going to have difficulty with, but the manager, the owner of the company, doesn't want to get rid of them. And so you're like, well, how can I get them on my level? How can I reach these kids?
And so like for me, like with Invisigal, like I still did at the very beginning, like I spoiler alert for like the chapters. I'm not gonna go too into it, but like she kind of like does some things at the beginning where you're like, yo, like you need to tighten up. But it wasn't like I'm kicking you off the team. I kept her
Mhm.
on for the first bit. I didn't kick her off at the very beginning or anything like that. I was very supportive of her. I tried to help her, and then she did it again, and then she did it again, and then it was like, okay, nope, now you're gone. You're a hindrance to this team. There is a there. Listen, you can strike twice in baseball, but if you strike three times, you are out. You know.
See, and I'm not going to argue. I don't disagree fundamentally. I think my perspective, the way that I look at those issues is a little bit different. And so for example, when you look at her betrayal specifically in the warehouse, um I don't see that as betrayal. I don't see that as her doing something against us. I see that as Shroud misrepresenting her and her motivations and all of that. And I don't know what to believe. I think things are being misrepresented in that whole thing. And it's I don't want to get into spoilers. We should probably move on because we're getting granular in there. And I realize I'm getting like really deep in the weeds on the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
specifics
yeah,
here.
yeah.
But I think it's just my perspective of some of those actions are a little bit different. And because of that perspective, I went into it with an idea of like, I need to reach these kids as opposed to I need to make this team accomplish its goal.
So I just want to put my last little 2 cents
Yeah,
into
yeah.
this. It's going to be something that only people who know the story really know are going to know well. But like the warehouse thing wasn't as big of an issue. Like my guy, I think, said exactly my take on that to her. Like I made him say it was like you were a bad person who did bad things, whatever. Like you were a villain who did some bad shit, whatever. I don't care about like I mean, obviously I didn't like that. I
Yeah.
didn't like that she kept it from me. But it was the final straw was trying to take the suit, like or trying to take the core. And I don't know, like you gotta tell me that, like you gotta tell me your plans at this point. And when you aren't doing that, it wasn't.
And it's fair. I don't disagree. I think there's nuance and I think there's a lot of fascinating stuff to get in there. But
Yeah.
as manager
But
of
we'll
that
get
team,
off. We'll get off this. This isn't a Discord street or
we'll
stream.
this will be Good Rep After Dark. That's our new podcast, 6 to 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. No, we're not going to do that. At least not yet.
Yeah.
When you
All right.
feel ready to move on to a new question, is there anything new you would like to implement to help keep yourself or your team motivated?
I love
Jordan,
that.
do you
When
have
you
anything
feel
that you
ready
think
to
we
move
could
on to a
do?
new question. Pizza parties, little morale boosting things.
Heck yeah. I can start cutting people's pay and throwing pizza parties.
No, 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 no.
Oh, oh,
No, no,
oh.
no. You cut your pay and you pay for us to have
Oh,
a pizza
I throw
party.
the pizza.
It's
I
time
guess
for
that's
you to put yourself. You were just talking about how you kind of want to do like that Angie thing of like, like being able to like throw back to the team a little bit. What better way than going and getting a couple hot and readies and having the team meet up for a half day or something like that.
my main thing is our team is spread out. We've got team kind of all across the country, and so
You're
getting
gonna
people
have
in
to
one
Uber
area
them a
kind of sucks.
pizza.
But now I'm like, hey, what if we did like a
I'll fly out to hang out with James in California.
well, I'm like, what if we all hopped on like a Teams and we all mukbanged? Would that be the same?
Could be fun. I mean, it could be fun. I don't think it would be the same as like
No, it would not be
just
the
having
same.
people there together. Which I mean, we can get a few of them. I mean, hell, if we planned it well enough, we could probably even get Mel involved in it because like it's not like she's that far, you
No.
know.
And we'll probably do like a team get together thing. But okay, so pizza parties. What outside of pizza parties, considering we're all remote? You got any ideas?
Um, hmm. So let me take an extra little look here. So it's just to keep them motivated for the most part, right? That's the
Would
question.
you
Not like
like to
really
implement to
stressed.
help keep yourself or your team motivated? So what would you do? What could you do to keep yourself a little bit more motivated, or could we implement to good
Um,
rep to help them?
it, again, it's funny because like it's kind of tied almost to like what I said there about like the wanting to do the Angie thing of like like but some type of incentive to like to do something. Where it's like, hey, like every 15 things you get green on your next cloud, like will. I don't know. It doesn't have to be like cash. There could be some type of reward though that like
Ooh.
makes someone happy for it. Like I don't know what it would be, you know? Like Take 30 minutes off one
See,
day.
no, I'm over here, and this is I'm gonna get into this, and I don't necessarily want to go this route, but I'm curious of your immediate reaction because my gut reaction is like I hate it. But
Yeah, love it.
Cassidy at the hospital has a system of earning points, and then she can use those points on like whatever. Like she has like an online
You hate
store
it
that she can
because
use points.
whatever we cash the points out on, you have to get for
Well,
us.
no. So this would be like earn gold stars. How do we count gold stars? Who assigns those? And I don't want
You.
to be out here. Well, exactly. Dude, I don't want to be out here handing out the gold stars so that you could use them at the school store to get yourself. Honestly, good rep merch is my shit. I would want to. I want to do a good rep like e-commerce store. I want to do that and hand out like tumblers. Could
Yeah.
you?
Oh.
I would use a good rep tumbler.
You said hand out. I thought at first you were talking about like selling them, and I was like, I don't
No
know how
one's
many
gonna.
people are diving at the good rep
No,
merch
no, no,
right now.
no. But if I made like a good rep team shirt or something like that, tell me that wouldn't be kind of cool.
I'd like that. Mel pitched that a long time ago. Mel's been wanting us to have team shirts. Like honestly, I think that was like week one Mel. Like,
She
she was like,
came on with
"Guys."
all the team spirit. Oh my
Honestly, I
god.
want to say it was like the first like 2 or 3 weeks. She's like, t-shirts. I love that.
Oh my goodness. See, and I'm over here like maybe I do like the general like gold star idea, like stepping in, hey, do this thing, recommend someone. I I think I just want I'll have to explore it a little bit more. I'll have to think on it in general. And if anyone has ideas, if you're in the chat, if you have ideas on how to motivate a team, on things that you can do as a group to help motivate people, I'm here to listen. I would love to hear them. So shoot them our way. I'll put them on screen. I'll call you out. Hell, if it's good enough advice, you can come on live.
Oh, Mel and Edgar, two totally different opinions.
I'm highlighting one of them. I'm highlighting one of our comments, and I'm kind of here for Birch.
I'm kind of here for the other one.
Get out of here. Have you ever? And this is
Yeah.
all we're as far as we go.
Yeah.
I've only ever once, and a client brought me. I literally that's the only time. Edgar, we are reading the chat.
Yeah,
Trust
we're
me.
laughing about it actively.
But when you're ready, I have more questions. Starting with, what is one organization tip to avoid burning out that you wouldn't recommend or tried but didn't work for you? What's something that we've done that was a little bit too much?
Organization tips from me are not
Not
good.
great.
They're not what you want. You don't like.
You're working on the organization. That's one of the.
You're asking a cat how to be a dog, and like I don't know.
So for organizational purposes, just to highlight this again, what is one organization tip to avoid burning out that you wouldn't recommend or tried but didn't work? So at an organization level, when you're passing something down, requiring everyone to do it, you're causing stress and anxiety every single time. I think of and I don't mean this in a positive or negative way, but the owner of our company, he will create recordings and he'll send them to groups of people. And every once in a while, he'll do some for the whole company. Not a big issue. Uh, a 5-minute recording that everyone in the company needs to listen to, not the biggest holdup. The issue comes when sometimes he gets a little long-winded and we have 15 or 20 minutes of recording sent to everyone in the company, and the expectation is that everyone listens to him, and that's a big break in the day for everyone at the time.
There's been days where he has sent like over an hour of them, like back to back. Like here's like a 5-minute one, here's a 10-minute one, here's a 5-minute one, and it's like, okay, well, when you consider that we got however many 60 employees, that's 60 hours. That is a work week and a half of payroll.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's
like
it's not even necessarily looking at all of that. It's just recognizing that there's that break up of workday. There is that impact on top of the imposition on someone's time, the imposition on someone's day. Um those types of issues at an organizational level, if you're sending mass invites to big meetings and you're requiring 50, 60 plus person meetings weekly or regularly, even, it's probably not a good situation for your company to be in. And I want to say it's something that we have solved and fixed immediately as a company. We had one 50 plus person call, and it was immediately, we're never doing that again. We're restructuring and figuring this out. And we pivoted immediately
We
to,
just did it last week.
well, yeah, and we pivoted immediately to, I'm managing a whole bunch of new people
Oh,
and
okay,
he's only going
okay.
to managers.
That wasn't our first 50-person call.
No, but it was the
that
first
wasn't
one
the
like
first
that.
time we said we would be done doing it either.
That was the first one like this, though.
Yeah.
Previously, it was just announcements.
Yes.
But as Mel says here, she talked about the point system. In my last company, we each had our own points that we could share, and we could earn points towards a gift card. Oh, wait. I kind of like that. Every week, everyone gets given a gold star to hand out, and you can only hand out one gold star a week, and you can't keep it.
There was, when I worked at Meyer, there was something called like what was it, Workday, I think, or it was an app that like basically was like, hey, if you get a recognition, you can like post like the manager recognized you today for you doing this, and that would give you points. And then yeah, you could turn around and you could spend those points, like she said, on gift cards. I bought a CS:GO knife one time from saving it all up. It was like $120 worth of points.
Dang. See, and maybe I'm here for that. I could see something like that being valuable and building up, because I think that would be interesting.
I think it was called Achievers. I think the app was called Achievers.
Well, and I mean, more than anything else, just having some cool merch. We don't need to like do anything with it.
Just want to wear it. I just want to wear it every. I want to stop digging through all my wrinkly shirts, looking for what shirt I want to like regret wearing on the podcast. I want to just wear my Good Rep shirt every time. I want five. I want two of them so that I can just like, one will be my Good Rep, one will be my JM.
Well, I feel like we could do some really cool designs for Good Rep. Like actually do cool Good Rep shirts.
I love the Good Rep colors.
Yeah, I like our colors. I like our general branding and design. Like we have cool enough stuff. I want to put that out there. I'll sell it. We got some viewers in here. If you're watching, what?
Sorry, I was gonna say I need a Joey Matterhorn one too that just has Joe's face right on the front.
I was gonna say we definitely have a credit influencer one that's somewhat similar to that, I think. But if you have ideas for a Good Rep Media T-shirt, if you have ideas for like logo designs for any type of design that could go on a T-shirt or merch of any style, let me know. We might put something together. But
we should do like she's Mel saying like we would even have monthly group calls with like team challenges, Pictionary, Guess Who, or any game we could play on screen. We could do like a Wordle competition.
I was gonna say, hey Mel, did you like that, or did that feel extra? Because I think one of my worries about implementing something team wide, and this is one of my issues as a manager, one of my like hangups, I suppose, is that I don't like requiring employees to do things. Requiring a morning meeting is already like, it feels almost imposing to me. I'm gonna do it because it's beneficial, and so I'm gonna make it happen. But I don't like forcing those things to happen. So with this, I wouldn't want to force everyone to get together to play Pictionary. I mean, heck, I don't like forcing people to get together and have a meeting. So is that something that people would want? Valuable?
You can make it optional.
Well, yeah, but if I make it optional and then only 2 people show up every time.
This is true. Yeah, like I get that, but like I think for something like with our team with Good Rep, I honestly think like I said, we've all come around on the morning meetings. And so I don't think there would ever be a time where we're like, no, we wouldn't want to like meet up on like a group call. I think we're all okay with that. So like that doesn't bother us. And then on top of that, truth be told, doing this for 30 minutes out of a month or something like that, that's 30 minutes that a lot of us don't have to sit here and do some bullshit. Like,
I mean,
this is my lazy employee being like, I will jump into that call every time.
Yeah. And I mean, being able to do those types of things is definitely a benefit of our company and our industry, I want to say. Like, definitely call out to the big man who runs everything that we have the opportunity to kind of do these extra jobs. I think it is very helpful that we fundamentally, like I said, get our job done. We will go above and beyond. I don't think anyone on the Good Rep team has been afraid to work after or outside of their hours
Right.
when needed as required. Um, but we're also very good at recognizing, like, hey, something's going on. Hop out of here. Don't worry about it. We're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are adults. At the end of the day, and
Absolutely.
maybe this is the thing to leave off on for like this whole whatever my whole thought process. Um, your employees are adults unless you're hiring children, in which case you have bigger problems. If your employees are adults, they're running their lives, they're paying taxes, they own a car, they're
Do you,
probably paying to live somewhere.
do you think there's any correlation to managers, like new managers with no experience managing, like almost viewing like their managing styles like almost copying based off of like teachers when they grew up? Because like
Oh,
a teacher
probably.
is almost like your first boss, you
Yeah,
know?
well, and there's a whole as I've been researching a little bit of different management styles and how to go about being manager because I know that there's a lot that I can be doing specifically in like support of my employees and being like, hey, I want to make sure that I'm there and able to not be the bad manager that employees have talked about that I've had. Like, I don't want to be that blocker for someone. I don't want to be the reason that someone leaves the company. I don't want to be the reason that someone is upset. I know that I have been. I know that I will continue to be, but that's not my goal. And so I have approached it from very much a mindset of I want to be a coach. As much as I can, I want to be a coach. I want to be a teacher. I want to ask questions and inspire thought. My biggest issue, my biggest like weakness right now is that motivation level of how do I motivate? How do I get buy-in? How do I get people to do those things? Because I can point you in the right direction, but I get really bad at forcing you to go walk that path.
Yeah. See, the reason I ask it though is because like you view some people, a lot of people like when they become a manager almost power trip with it. You don't. By no means do you. You can hear that just in like you talking right now.
Yeah.
Um but like those people who power trip and kind of almost like take that like no, you're all my employees, I'm going to treat you like children, like to the point
Mm.
where it's like you need to do everything exactly how I say, and if you don't, like you're doing it wrong, versus you where it's like get the job done, it doesn't matter how, as long as it's done well and in a way that you can explain it to me. And I wonder, like, does that come from like people like their first experience with like a boss figure was like a teacher who treated children like children, and so like that almost
Oh.
becomes how you treat people when you become in control of them.
Yeah. I'm sure that there are a lot of different ways to go about it, and I think we've all interacted with that power tripping manager. Was yours in retail?
Yeah, I mean I've
Oh,
had
100%.
multiple, but yeah.
The main ones that I can think of are always in retail, and it's always they treat the store like it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I realize sometimes when I'm talking about Good Rep, when I'm talking about our big company, that I'll be like, the optics of this aren't good, Jordan. We must sequester away so that we can better reveal ourselves at a later day. And I feel like I'm like some Game of Thrones, like
Little finger
little
over here.
finger over here. And it's really just, it's much more so like the owner says he wants something done quickly. Let's get it done quickly so that he can see that we did something quickly and it
Yeah.
looks good. And that is not Littlefinger. That's not politics. That's not treating something like Game of Thrones. It's very much like a hey, they asked for a thing to get done. Let's
Yeah,
do it
like it's
quickly so
really
that we
just kind of forwarding the job. Like, it's really just work.
that's that's funny. It really is just doing what is in the job description. Don't
Old
recommend
Navy.
working at Old Navy.
Yeah.
Just for anyone now asking
Yeah, just put
questions.
that on the screen so that everybody can know. Old Navy just started hating Mel. It's got her
Well, it's
whole
wor-
name. It's got her whole name on that.
that has her full God-given government name on it.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Anyways, clip that. That one will go live on the Shorts channel sometime this week. We'll make sure that we tag Mel and no, I'm
Be
just
like,
kidding.
guys, I'm gonna make a new account for this.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, to get back on point, to kind of finish this up here, we're talking about how you can manage mental health, keeping your small team motivated during busy seasons. And there's a lot of different ways to kind of run about what we've gone through here. Um, give them some leeway, make sure that you're clearly communicating expectations, pay well enough. I don't think we touched on that one. That
We
should
didn't.
definitely be
That's a big
touched
one.
on.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Pay people well enough. Holidays are really,
Ho-
really tight times
Holiday
for people.
bonuses. Holiday bonuses was something we didn't talk about. Now we are talking about small businesses.
Yes.
So like
And
small
so,
businesses bonuses are tougher, but
yeah, small
could be
business
something.
bonuses are tougher. I don't necessarily, if you're a business that's offering bonuses at the end of the year because you've done that well, hell yeah, major props. But it's also worth recognizing things out there not great, things out there not going well for a lot of people. Things are expensive, groceries are expensive. I just went and spent like $180 on groceries this past weekend and I feel like I got nothing. Like actually my fridge did not change at all and it's every week, man. It's just every week.
Well, you got so used to seeing it so filled with all that Thanksgiving stuff that
I will be real.
now
It
when
was so
there's not
full.
as much in it, it doesn't feel full at all.
It makes me want to go buy another turkey and make another
Go buy another
turkey.
turkey, dude.
Did I
Why
tell
not?
you how much I spent on all that turkey stuff?
Not probably not that much because around Thanksgiving turkeys actually get pretty cheap.
So for all of the stuff for pies, for all of the fixings, all of the everything, it was about $200.
Oh, okay.
Like in for two turkeys, all of the butter, all of the fixing, two pies, two things of you called it ambrosia, I called it fluff. Um
Again, well, what I make and what you make are not the same thing.
yeah. Yours has sour cream, which is insane. And we talked about this actually. I talked about this with another group of people who are
Did
talking
someone
about.
else be like, "Yeah, no, it's really good"?
No, someone said that sour cream and ambrosia is the most disgusting thing that they've ever heard. That's not ambrosia.
Yeah, and again, it's like people hear it like that's why like I'm not someone who like believes in like tricking someone into eating something, especially if it's like a dietary thing like gluten or anything. Obviously, that's horrible. Don't do that to someone. But if it's just someone who's like, sour cream is gross, I'm gonna trick you into eating that because like you'd eat it and you'd be like, that's not sour cream, that is whipped cream. You know? Like
Yeah,
it absorbs like all the pineapple and the coconut and like all the
I,
juices and becomes so good.
I'm sure it does. I would never in a million years. That sounds awful. Maybe if you con me into it somehow, if you got me to do it against my will,
I'm gonna
that
make
might
it
be.
when I show up when we finally do this this like coffee pod
Yeah,
that you keep talking about. I'm gonna make you eat it.
you got to make it first.
You're gonna I'll make it. That takes 30 seconds. You just pour it all into a bowl, mix it up, and it's done. It's not bad.
Oh
Like
my goodness. Okay, maybe we'll try it. We'll see what's up.
no,
But
you'll try it.
I'm gonna never eat anything you offer me again.
Like, what's crazy is like I guarantee you'll eat it and go, "This is good." I guarantee it.
But so I also don't like sour cream.
Again, you wouldn't even know that it is sour cream.
But I know because you've told me.
Yes, exactly, and that's the biggest mistake I've made because like you tell people like I
Yeah.
guarantee you every person that's ever like still tried it after I've told them has enjoyed it. Every person. Now, most people refuse to try it after I tell them.
It's worth noting most people like you refuse to try it. So understood.
But I'm
Oh
not
my
gonna let you refuse to try it. You're gonna eat some.
if you can con me into it somehow, which I'm sure you can, I'm going to forget this. Like I'm
I'll
going to forget this.
refuse to do the pour over coffee thing until you try it.
Dude, we're gonna do pour over Jojo Java, and I'm actually so excited for
I
that
just
because it's
think
gonna
that-
be like 4K cups to do it.
Yeah, I just had to because I'm back on my diet and don't want to have like any calories before 1. I had to drink black coffee, so I had to bust out an old JoJo peanut butter and just made that. It's
Aged.
expired. Drank that black. I can still feel it
I
in my
mean,
stomach.
coffee
Coffee
expired.
expired.
Is it? How bad is it? I don't know how bad coffee gets when it
I
expires.
know eventually it'll mold.
Actually,
Yeah.
That's there was no mold, right?
No, I don't know. It's a cake.
And with that, thanks for joining me. It's been Cody and Jordan at Lunch with the Boys. Join us next week at noon on the Joey Matterhorn channel, where we're going to be talking about some best gift ideas for someone with a grind set mindset. Grind set mindset's been my new emotional tick. I'll be walking around and be like,
so
grind set
cringe.
mindset.
It's so cringe. Dude.
Oh, it is, dude. I'm 31. This is as cringe as we get.
There is no age in which saying the word grind set mindset out loud is not cringe. We talked about it on the podcast, and we said it probably 8 times, and I wanted to throw up in my mouth every time.
The thing is, man, you got to recognize I'm in my 30s. Anything I say is cringe. Like, I'm over here like, hey, look at these Pokemon. And people are like, oh my God, he likes Pokemon. That's so cringe. I'm like, yeah, dude, it is. I'm 31.
I'm 31, and I have two different wall arts of Funko.
Hey, man, it's called respect. We put respect on that name. But next week, grind set mindset, people. If you're looking for gift ideas, come join us noon on Monday in the Joey Matterhorn channel, noon on Tuesday on the Good Rep channel, where you are at now. Come see Jordan and I again, where we're going to be talking about some small business Christmas specials. We have a couple different ones that we want to go over. If you have some Christmas specials, if your business has a Christmas special and you want to share it, send it our way. Email it to us, goodrepmedia@gmail.com. I'd love to see your little promo. We'll highlight it on the channel. We'll take a look at it. We will rip it apart fundamentally, but we would love to see it regardless. And hey, Jordan, thanks so much for joining me again. As always,
Thanks for having me, Cody.
It's been a great show. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.